Hi you guys, it's Dre here. Today I am bringing you a video I haven't done in a long time. I've done them before, but it seems like it's been forever since I've done one. This is kind of like a first impression of a bunch of different things. So I have 10 different items here that I've never used before and that I am going to try with you today on camera, and we'll see how they do. So obviously I have already done it because my face is done, but you will see my bare face in a second and then we will get into the first impressions. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I have to admit to being quite intimidated by all that is before me. Do you guys ever get that way? I always get that way when I try something new, especially eyeshadows in a formula I've never tried before. I get freaked out. Yeah, it's just because I'm not familiar with it, you know? So I always find it intimidating, and especially when I do 10 new first impressions all at once. So let's just get started. Okay, so first of all, primer. This is the Guerlain Radiance Concentrate with pure gold. It's French, okay? I'll put the actual name on the screen. All right, so this is the one that Tati has always raved about, and I got a little 100-point perk here. So it's obviously very liquidy. I wonder if I should pat more than rub. So that was like one pump. Here's another pump. It feels nice. It has a little bit of a perfumey scent. It's not too bad. Definitely starts to feel a little bit tacky. Now, in terms of the gold, I'm not seeing like any weird gold flakes on my face or anything like that. So that's good. I mean, you can see there's gold in the bottle. For now, it feels kind of nice. It feels kind of moisturizing. Okay, this I've had waiting to try for you guys forever. I just haven't had time till today. So this is the new Covergirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. You guys know I have super oily skin. This is in the shade 520 Light. I am a little bit scared that I got the wrong shade because I bought this like 2 months ago now or something. And my tan has developed a little bit since then, but we'll just go with it. I'm going to do half my face with a face brush and then half my face with a beauty blender. So let's just start with the beauty blender first. Oh, I should have shaken that. It's separated. Okay, so first impression number one, shake it up. Before you use it, shake it up. Especially if it's been sitting for 2 months on your vanity. So from everything I've heard, this is really good for oily skin and it's supposed to be full coverage, so we'll see. I don't tend to enjoy applying foundation type products with a beauty blender. It's just not my favorite way to do it. I really prefer a brush, but especially when I'm doing like a first impressions for you guys, I want to see how it goes on with this. I don't know, I just find that the beauty blender takes so long, and I have no patience when it comes to my makeup. Even though it does take a long time to put on makeup, I always want it to be fast. I think this is really nice so far. I think it gave me pretty good coverage. I mean, I'm looking pretty close to it, especially here where I have, this is where I get redness. I don't really get redness anywhere else, just right here. And I definitely covered that, and it's covered up the freckles on my nose. The finish is really nice so far. The only thing that it hasn't really covered up, I have a few spidery veins right here, have them on both sides, and it hasn't really covered that up. So let's just for the sake of first impressions and experimenting, let's just put a second layer just on that might be too much actually, just on that part there. Built up pretty nice. I think it covered that pretty well. Maybe still seeing the teensiest little bit peek out, but for the most part, I think that was really good. And the beauty blender and that together, it's like a really nice finish. It's very natural. There's no streakiness anywhere. Okay, let me just say this is the weirdest experience I've ever had with a foundation, because normally like I do one side with beauty blender, one side with a brush, and there might be a slight difference, but this is a huge difference. So on this side with a brush, it's clinging to my hairs, it's settling into my pores up here and a little bit here, and it's very streaky on my nose. Like, this is not cute at all. So I have never had that happen before. It's not in my pores over here. It's not streaky at all. That makes sense because it's a beauty blender, but the pores thing is weird. It's not clinging to my little baby hairs, and it definitely is here. So, yeah, use a beauty blender with this. I'm just gonna go over it one more time, and hopefully it'll blend out and it won't continue to stay in my pores. Why it's really good if you're trying a foundation for the first time to try it in different ways, because like, who knew that would happen? If I hadn't have done a beauty blender on half, I would never have known. I would have thought it was just a really crappy foundation. I wasn't able to completely, like, once I buffed it in with the face brush, it's kind of stuck there. Maybe it stuck to the primer. But anyway, I wasn't completely able to kind of get that effect to go away, but it's mostly gone. So I'm obviously going to continue to use these. Just so you guys know, if you're new here, first of all, welcome, hi. I always do a follow-up of like any first impressions. I always do like a big roundup video a few weeks later. So you will get updates as to how these have worn. Like, it's not only going to be a first impression. I like first impressions because I think they give you a really good, like, look what just happened. They give you a really good first impression, but you know, they don't always give you the full picture over time. So that's why I always do an update later. So I got a sample of the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. This is the brand new launch of the new concealers. This is in the shade L11 Neutral. Now, so I'm looking at it and I think this is gonna be a good shade. There are so many shades, you guys. Like, it goes from white to like very deep. And so, like, I don't mean just white, I mean like pure stark white. So there's every shade you could possibly want in this new launch. You can see I have dark circles. We'll see how well this covers up. It's got a little nice, let's just do a close-up. Little nice doe foot that's kind of slightly angled and pointed, which is kind of cool. So I'm just gonna do one across, one down. Hopefully this is not too much. And before I even go on the other side, I'm gonna blend it out because you never know how fast something will set. So I'm just gonna blend it out with my beauty blender. Without color correcting, it's pretty good. I am not the most fair test subject because I really do kind of need color correcting to fully get rid of my dark circles, but I think it's done a pretty good job in covering it up. Like, I can definitely still see some darkness, but that is not the fault of this. That is just my hereditary genes coming through. But it's blended out pretty well and it looks like pretty full coverage. It's kind of a little bit thick but still blends well. Like, applying it, I can definitely feel it's a thicker formula. It's not like Urban Decay Naked. That's a little bit of a thinner formula in my opinion. So yeah, but just looking even in the viewfinder, it's doing a pretty good job covering up. So to set my under eye, I haven't even hauled this yet, but I figured since I'm doing this video and we're doing the Kat Von D concealer, I bought this. This is the new Lock-It setting powder. I figured I would just do them both in the same video, and I'm sure you guys don't mind. The packaging on this is so nice. Like, okay, I've got it a little bit dirty already, but look, like, you got a nice KVD on there. I was not in need of a new, you know what, let me talk while I bake my eye. I was not in need of a new powder, a new loose powder. I have enough of them, but when I touched this in Sephora, I kind of felt like I needed it because it's very soft and silky. Once I felt it, I was like, I'm gonna look at you like this because when I'm trying to not let it settle in my lines. This is crazy. Who films a video like this? Okay, when I felt it, I was like, you know what? That's so soft and silky. I really thought it would be good for baking. So this is actually not a first impression, to tell you the truth. I've used this a couple times already, like 2 maybe. And so far I've been liking it, but I've been trying it with different foundations, different concealers, because I don't know, one time it got kind of yellow, but I think that was the fault of the concealer. So I'm trying it with different things. So now that I'm trying it with the actual Kat Von D concealer, it should work perfectly, right? Like in theory, so we'll see. So next for the rest of my face, I'm gonna be using this Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Transforming Powder. This is in the shade 25 Nude Beige. When I went to Walmart and got this, a lot of the testers had been messed with already. Like I didn't open it myself, but there were quite a few that had been. So I just was able to swatch a few of them. That's what it looks like. So the powder only fills half of it, and then the other half is a sponge, and then you do get a mirror. So I'm just gonna use a regular brush. This brush is really good for powder, like pressed powder in a pan, because it's a little bit not hard, but it's just not as soft as some other face brushes. And I find that it really picks up powder really well. Wow, this feels really nice so far. This feels really like silky. It's so 25 Nude Beige. I almost got the one down, but again, thinking about like my tan in the summer, I think this is a better fit for me. And it's not giving me a whole lot of coverage or a whole lot of color, but maybe just a little bit. But I'm liking the way it looks so far. It looks really pretty, I think. So this has salicylic acid in it. If you're sensitive to that, then obviously avoid it. But if you have like oily skin or acne prone skin, that would be probably good for you. So, you know, drugstore option, affordable, great. I'm gonna try out this Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit. I put this in my Bought It Forgot It this month. Erica, if you're watching, I'm sorry this is the first time I'm using this. My sister gave this to me for my birthday, so that was in November. Okay, should I use the brush that comes with it? Let's just do it. Let's just use the brush that comes with it and see what happens. If I need to, I'll switch to a different brush, but for now, I'm going to use this shade, the Brow 2 shade. Pick up a little bit. Do you hear that laughing? My son's watching a Minecraft video on YouTube. I am a little bit scared, you guys, because I don't use brow powders. I have always used a pencil, and then I've been recently using a pomade. So I'm a little bit scared. So it's actually pretty pigmented, more than I thought a brow powder would be. Whenever I think of brow powder, I kind of think of like light coverage. I am going today to the zoo, and it's gonna be 30 degrees Celsius. I have a feeling this makeup is not gonna last all that well, and that's really not the fault of the makeup. Like, who can ask a makeup product to last through that kind of heat and humidity? So, you know, if I have any thoughts by the end, that's why I'm not, okay, long and short of it, that's why I'm not doing like a check-in type video. But if I have any thoughts, I will leave them in the description bar next to the product. Definitely giving me a little bit of a more natural brow look than like the pomade does, even though I think the pomade from Anastasia is excellent and I love it. And that still can get a natural look. This is like even more of a natural look, I think. So you see the difference in my eyebrows. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, let me do the other one and I'll be right back. I did have to dip my brush in there multiple times to get the color to kind of pay off, but it did build up really, really easily. So I was able to get the level of pigmentation that I wanted, and I think that my eyebrows look really nice. I'm just swiping away this baking powder on my face. I think it's been on there long enough. And this side's looking pretty good. This side, even though I blended it out, is settled into my eye crease a little bit. Not too bad though. Like it's when I look up really close in the mirror, I can see it, so no biggie. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the NYX Avant Pop palette, and this is the Art Throb version of it. Even though this is a first impressions, I have to admit I kind of was thinking about how I would like to use this ahead of time because it's so intimidating. Like, these colors are crazy. I didn't apply them at all, but I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do. And I definitely want to use that purple because that's the whole reason I bought this palette. I really was drawn to that purple. So let's just get started. The problem with this already, I can tell you, is that most of these are very shimmery, so I'm really concerned as to what I'm gonna put in the crease. Even that orange, which would normally make like a really nice crease color, is very, very satiny, and it does show up as a satin finish. So I'm just gonna start out with this as my transition shade. I do not believe any of these colors, whoa, that's a lot of powder kick up. I don't believe any of these colors have names. Okay, so be careful with the amount of product you're picking up because already that kicked up a lot of powder. I know you're not supposed to blow on your makeup, but so sue me, I do it every once in a while. This is a really nice matte transition shade. It's going on really nicely pigmented, so I have no complaints about this shade at all. Just for fun, I don't really care. I'm just gonna use this orange as my crease shade because I want to. I mean, normally I wouldn't say use a satin in your crease, but I don't care. I don't care today. How about that? I'm glad that it built up. This is just a nice kind of warm orange in the crease, and the fact that it's satin is not really coming across once it's on my eyes, so yay for that. It's actually working. This purple, I almost wanted to put a white base under it, you guys, but you know, for first impression, I feel like that is kind of cheating a little bit, you know what I mean? So this is not going on the most pigmented, but I feel like over a white base it would pop a lot more. So you know what, that's okay, because maybe you want a more natural purple eye, you know, like you got punched. Hopefully none of you are getting punched in the eye. Okay, so I kind of like that. I mean, again, it's not the most pigmented purple, but it's pretty. I think it's coming across as pretty. I think it's coming across more pink than purple though. You know, this is definitely a more like violet shade. What the heck is on my chin right now? Where did that come from? How long has that been there, you guys? How come you didn't tell me? And the two together in the crease. You know, in terms of blending, the blending on these is really not bad at all. Like it's actually pretty good. So I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna take a little bit of this gold shade and put that on the inner corner and kind of into the purple. All right, this actually is like almost like my skin tone. So I'm wondering if this is even a good idea now. Okay. I have to say I'm not super impressed by this palette so far. I mean, just using them on their own, they're blending nicely, but there's really not a lot of pigmentation. So I'm really not getting kind of the look I wanted to, but I definitely will update you later on after playing with some of these other colors and also like maybe putting it over a white base, experimenting with it over a black base and seeing, you know, if they perform better. So I'm just gonna put on a little bit of liner and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna go into the purple with like a flat definer brush. I'm gonna buff that out with a little bit of the orange. I knew this would happen. I'm gonna just go back in one more time with the purple. So I'm going to be trying this Guerlain Maxi Lash Mascara. I got a deluxe sample size. Let's see what the brush looks like together. Okay, nice, very standard. Come on, focus. I love brushes that look like this, that they ain't got no funny business going on, you know? So right off the bat with one coat, I'm liking the length and I'm liking it. It's not clumping at all. It's definitely still giving me separation. Yeah, look at that. That's one coat. That's pretty nice length and separation for one coat. Don't you think? So let's do the bottom lashes. For the sake of science, I will go in with a second coat, even though I like the way it looks with one coat. Just for you guys, just so you can see how it looks. Yeah. It's giving me maybe a touch more length, but I'm definitely clumping it up a little bit with the second coat. So this is probably the kind of mascara that really truly only does need one coat. So I'm liking it so far. That's a lot of length, don't you guys agree? Okay, so I'm very excited about this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. So this is a lip liner pencil. So it's a beautiful nude color. It's supposed to like shape your lips if you want to like contour them a little bit, overline them slightly. The only place I ever really overline is just right under here. That's about it. I just find that gives me a nice shadow there, and it makes my lips just that much plumper. This is really nicely creamy, but not too creamy, I'm finding. So it's gliding, but it's not slippery. It's not slippery at all. Wow, and I love this color. It's just such a pretty nude color. Okay, this is not a first impressions, but I am using the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Naked. And then I'm going to use this Anastasia Beverly Hills Gloss in Vintage. It's a beautiful mauve, but it's got little tiny gold flecks in it. I have swatched this. It's super pigmented. It smells divine. It smells like caramelly butterscotch. Doesn't feel too sticky. You know, I almost wish I didn't put the lipstick on and I had just tried this by itself, because something is grabbing onto a dry patch on my lips and I don't know what it is. So, but I do love how pouty and glossy this is making my lips look. So nice, very nice. Okay guys, so this is obviously what the final look looks like. Let's just kind of go through these and give a little recap. The powder I think is really nice. It's a nice finish. You know, I'll have to see if it helps with my oil throughout the day. The eyeshadow palette. For me right now, I would give this like a 6 out of 10, but obviously I haven't played with all the colors, and like I said, I want to try it over another base. So that will have to be one of those items that really kind of needs an update, and I will definitely give you one. Okay, the concealer. So far, I'm liking it. I like the coverage. I think it's giving me a nice finish. The color match is pretty good. It's not really settling into lines, really just like that one right there. Maybe I didn't like totally blend that out myself. I don't know, we'll have to see. But so far I'm liking it quite a bit. The finish is beautiful actually. The foundation, beauty blender all the way, but I do like the way it looks. I like the coverage level on it. I don't know if I would say this is a full coverage. I think this is more like medium to full, kind of in between the two. So, but yeah, I'm liking the finish. I like the way it looks on my skin. The powder, I have been liking this so far. It looks like it's okay with this concealer. It's not oxidizing at all. This brow powder, surprisingly, I'm really liking the way my eyebrows look. This is an amazing drugstore option for eyebrows. If you're on a budget, I think you can get a really nice look out of it. This primer, so far I've not noticed any difference. This is supposed to firm your skin over time, so again, we'll update on that one. The mascara, where did you go, mascara? Here you are. Loving this so far, loving the length and separation on this. So I'll see if it flakes at all throughout the day. Like I said, check the description bar for any additional thoughts I have after applying this. And then the 2 lip products, oh, amazing. Loving this so far. Love the smell of this. We'll have to experiment a little bit more. Something is sticking to that dry patch on my lips. I'm not sure what it is. So that was like 10 first impressions. So like I said, I will do an update. If you haven't subscribed yet, then make sure you do so that you can be notified of future videos from me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up on your way out. And other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day today, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And thanks for spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.